Hey guys, I wanted to record something a little more practical today. Every now and then I get asked if it's still necessary to know Solidity or spend days setting everything up just to launch a token. And honestly, that's probably one of the biggest misconceptions people still have about EVM chains. So I figured instead of talking about it, let's actually do it. We're going to create a brand new token on BNB Chain, deploy the contract, check that it appears on the blockchain, add it into a wallet, and by the end you'll see that it's ERC-20 style asset on EVM network, not just something generated inside a website. Once the contract is live, you can build on top of it, move it between wallets, interact with DeFi applications, or eventually use it with exchanges if your project grows into something bigger. So back then, launching a token usually meant opening editor, working with Solidity, pulling in OpenZeppelin libraries, compiling everything, deploying through development tools, running tests, and making sure you hadn't overlooked some tiny mistake that would stay on chain forever. For someone writing smart contracts every day, that was just part of the job. For everyone else, it usually felt like way too much work just to create a simple token. Now that's changed quite a bit. Instead of spending hours putting different pieces together, most of the technical groundwork has already been done. So I spent a while comparing different builders, deployed several contracts on different EVM networks, checked every deployment afterward, and made sure everything behaved consistently. After repeating the process enough times, this was the platform I kept coming back to. I'll leave the official link in the pinned comment. So first thing I need to choose is the blockchain. For this one, we're using BNB Chain. If you ever decide to deploy on another EVM network later, the process is almost identical. Alright, now we can start filling everything in. Token name, this is simply full name users are going to see when they import the token or look it up on the blockchain. I'm just entering an example here, so we've got something to work with. Next is symbol or ticker, short name. Same idea as BNB, Cake, or USDT. Keep it short, easy to remember, and easy to recognize. Decimals, I'm leaving the default value at 18. That's what most BEP-20 tokens use on BNB Chain. So unless your project has a specific reason to do something different, I'd leave it exactly as it is. Next comes the total supply. There's no single number that's correct for every project. Some teams launch with 1 million tokens, others with hundreds of millions. It depends entirely on what you're building. Then we've got all these optional features. This lets you decide how much additional functionality you want. Maybe you want minting later, maybe burning, maybe ownership management, maybe none of that. If all you need is a standard BEP-20 token, you can keep everything nice and clean without enabling anything extra. Okay, everything looks good so far. I open review page and give everything one last look and then connect my wallet. There we go, wallet's connected, and now I only need to choose which asset I'm using to pay the deployment fee. Alright, now platform is sending the deployment request, should only take a few seconds. Nice, the contract's ready. That's honestly still satisfying to watch. A minute ago, we were filling out a few fields. Now there's an actual token deployed on BNB Chain. Here's the contract address. From here, I can open Block Explorer, look through the deployment transaction, and use the same contract address to import the token into my wallet. So that's basically it. If anything wasn't clear or you're building your own token and hit a problem somewhere along the way, leave a comment below. I'll read through them and help.